Last year, my son had Inventor Week at his school, and they asked me to come and be the keynote speaker at his kindergarten class. So I was the inventor that was coming, and I started out looking at all these cute little kids, and I said, so what does an inventor look like? And all their hands shot up, and one kid said, it's a man and he has crazy hair. And somebody else raised their hand and said, no, 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 it's a bald man. No, it's a tall man, it's a short man. And I just stopped and I said, well, I'm an inventor. And their eyes got really big and they said, you are? And it dawned on me, I looked around the room and all the pictures of inventors were Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, Steve Jobs. So I can see why the young girl who asked me and said I didn't know girls could be inventors was surprised.
My father, growing up, used to encourage my brother and me to fail. And that he would say at the dinner table, what have you guys failed at this week? And if we didn't have something to tell him, he would actually be disappointed. And I can remember saying, Dad, I tried out for this and I was horrible, and he'd high-five me and say, way to go. And what he was doing was reframing my definition of failure. I didn't realize it at the time, but for my brother and myself, failure ended up becoming not trying versus the outcome. None of my friends or family knew what my idea was, and that was really important to my journey because I didn't want to share the idea just for validation, because I wanted to make sure that I spent any time I had pursuing it instead of defending it and explaining it. And I think so often, so many times, people have an amazing idea. I mean, you have $1 million or $1 billion idea in your life, and the first thing you want to do is turn to your right or left or tell your friend. Out of love and concern, you get a lot of feedback that stops that idea right in its moment that it happened.
I wanted to patent my idea, and I ended up looking for a female patent attorney, and I called the Georgia Chamber of Commerce, and they said there actually wasn't a single female patent attorney in the entire state of Georgia. So I looked in the yellow pages and found 3 men's names and went out and pitched my idea to them, and they actually thought the idea was so bad that one of the patent lawyers later admitted to me he thought I'd been sent by Candid Camera, which makes sense because he was looking around the room for the hidden cameras, but he ended up eventually helping me.
When I was going door to door to the hosiery manufacturers and really trying to pitch them the idea, that was the toughest part of my journey. Because it had never dawned on me as a consumer, but everybody making our shapewear and hosiery were men.
Right.
And it quickly dawned on me.
That makes no sense, actually.
Right, but then I realized why it had been so uncomfortable. Right? Because the people making it were not wearing it, and if they were not admitting it. So I was like, where are the women? I want to talk about this idea. And so I went from mill to mill, and they would always ask me the same 3 questions. They would say, and you are? And I'd say, Sara Blakely. And they'd say, and you're with? I'd say, Sara Blakely. They go, and you're financially backed by? And I'd go, Sara Blakely.
Great.
And they'd show me the door.
You know, championing, trust your gut, and follow what you're passionate about. Don't be afraid of what you don't know. Let that become your greatest asset. Don't take no for an answer.
Keep going.
Keep going.